Did you know that most men over 50 mock your own critical mistake in relationship chat unknowingly pushes women away? Or have you ever wondered why some men keep passion alive in their relationship while others struggle to connect emotionally with their partner? There's a secret to lasting love that most people never talk about. A secret so powerful that it can reignitation in your relationship, even if you think it's too late. The truth is, love ain't about grand gestures or expensive gifts. It's about something much deeper, something that many men overlook as the years pass, and when they do, they find themselves in relationships that feel more like routines than romance. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to learn isn't just advice, it's a revelation that could transform your love life forever, whether you've even married for decades or you're just beginning to navigate love later in life's system will help you build deeper, more meaningful connections with the woman you cherish. If you've ever felt like your partner is emotionally distant, this story will help you understand why and how to fix it. And if this resonates with you, comment number 1 below to lend. No, you're still with me. Let's get started. In a secluded village nestled between towering mountains and rivers that whisper forgotten stories, lived Grandma Amalia, a woman whose knowledge of love had healed countless hearts. People from distant lands sought her counsel, hoping to uncover the secrets of intimacy and connection. One day, a young woman named Clara set out on a journey to find her. With questions pressing on her heart and uncertainly outing her mind, she traveled across valleys and bridges, driven by relentless yearning to understand love's deepest truths. Her thoughts were filled with doubts. Was Clara's wisdom fanging advice from a woman who defies age stereotypes? Love supposed to change over time? Was intimacy meant to fade or waste their way to keep it alive even after years together? She needed answers, and Nesh had heard that Grandma Malia was the only one who could provide it. Them. The path was long, winding through quiet forests and across old stone bridges, where the water below flowed as steadily as time itself. Each step she took carried the weight of unspoken worries, memories of love, lost in love, misunderstood. She thought of both couples. She had seen some who still held hands after decades together. Others who sat in silence, disconnected and distant. What made the difference? Was it luck? Or was there something more? When Clara arrived, she was welcomed by the warmth of a crackling fire in Grandma Amelia's modest yet inviting cottage. Fielder woman with eyes that held through a stum of lifetimes motioned for her tazat. The scent of dried herbs filled the air, and the gentle flicker of candlelight cast dancing shadows on the walls. Clara felt an immediate sense of comfort, as if she'd stepped into a place where answers had always existed, waiting to be discovered. Amalia studied Clara with acquiescent smile, as if she already knew the questions before they had even been spoken. "You've come a long way, child," she said gently. "Tell me, what is it that troubles your heart?" After a moment off Salone's, Clara took a deep breath and asked, "Grandma Amalia, is it wrong to desire more intimacy in marriage, even in ways society doesn't openly talk about?" A knowing smile graced the elder's lips, studied Clara for a moment before responding, her voice as soothing as the fire's glow. "My dear, love is not bound by the rigid expectations of the world. True intimacy is not about obligation, nor is it a mere act. It is a sacred exchange, a language of the soul, woven with trust, passion, and understanding." She leaned forward slightly, her eyes filled with the wisdom of decades. Too fond people mistake intimacy for a routine, something to be checked off a list, but real intimacy, the kind that keeps love alive, is not about following grills. It's about connection, about truly seeing and being seen. Clara listened unly, her hands folded in her lap. But what if one partner desires more than the other? What if fear or hesitation holds them back? Malia nodded knowingly. "That is where the beauty of love lies. My dear, it's not about demanding or expecting. It's about understanding. A relationship thrives when both partners feel safina to express their needs, their fears, and their desires without shame. When a man and a woman are emotionally upon with each other, intimacy deepens. In ways that go beyond the physical, she took a sip of her tea and continued. Many couples fool Paulo's awakening themament, everything. Shifted into the trap-off, assuming they already know everything about each other, but true intimacy isn't about knowing, it's about discovering every touch. Every conversation, every moment shared is an opportunity to explore deeper layers of love. Clara absorb the words, realizing that perhaps the struggles in relationships didn't come from a lack of love, but from a lack of curiosity. She just thought about the way couples drift apart, not because they stop loving each other, but because they stop exploring. Stop asking, stop listening. Grandma Amalia placed a gentle hand on Clara's. Intimacy is not just about the body, it is about the mind, the heart, the soul. If a couple stops growing together, the bond weakens, but if they continue to nurture each other's desirsto, communicate openly to embrace both familiar and the unknown, then love will never feel stagnant. It will always be alive. Clara felt something shift inside her. She'd come seeking answers, but what she found was an entirely new way of looking at love. It wasn't about what was right or wrong. It was about whether she and her future partner were willing to keep discovering each other no matter how many years had passed. Grandma Amalia paused, studying Clara's face. There's a lie that people have been told about love. They say passion naturally fades with time, but that's not true. Passion doesn't fade, it changes, and those who understand this keep the flame alive. She leaned back. Her steady love in your 50s, 60s, and beyond is different than it was in your 20s, but different doesn't mean worse. In fact, it can be deeper, richer, more fulfilling if you know how to nurture right. The biggest mistake men make, she continued, is assuming that what worked before will work forever. A woman's needs evolve just as a man's do, and if you're not paying attention, if you're not learning, then one day you'll wake up and wonder where the connection went. The secret to lasting attraction isn't found in expensive gifts or extravagant trips, it's found in emotional connection. A woman doesn't crave a man's presence just because of how he looks or how successful he is. She craves him because of how he makes her feel. She wants to feel seen, understood, appreciated, not just for what she does, but for who she is. And when a man over 50 continues to nurture his partner's heart, not just urban intimacy thrives. It's not about youth, Grandma Amalia said with a soft smile. It's about presence. It's about looking at your partner and truly seeing them as if for the first time. It's about listening to the words they don't say, about holding them in a way that makes them feel cherished. Not just out of habit, but out of love. Clara thought about the couple she had known. Some still laughed together, still held hands in the grocery stores, still whispered to each other when they thought no one was watching. Others had drifted into silence, more like roommates than lovers. The difference wasn't time, it was effort. It was the willingness to keep the connection alive even when life got by Iveen, when routines took over. So Clara Rost, what can a man do to keep that connection strong? Grandma Amelia's eyes sparkled. He can start by being present, by making her feel like she is the most important person in the room, by never assuming he already knows everything about her, but instead continuing to learn her every single day. Essential shift, embracing posture, presence, and emotional authenticity. Grandma Amalia sighed gently before speaking. The biggest mistake men make in long-term relationships, she said, is assuming their partner feels love just because they've been together 4 years. Love isn't automatic, it's same thing you choose every single day. She set her teacup down and continued. Men take their partners for granted without realizing it. They stop doing the little things that once made a smile. They let life get in the way of romance. They listen, but only halfway, and slowly, without meaning to, they leave emotional distance grow. She shook her head, but love isn't about grand gestures. It's about presence. The strongest intimacy isn't built in the bedroom. It's built in the way you show up every day. It's in the way you laugh together, in the small secrets you sharing, the trust that says, I know you and I'll choose you. Looked Clara in the eye women's dizzes shift as they age. They want emotional security over fleeting passion. Need to feel seen, heard, and valued not just in words, but in action. They'll long for deep companionship. The kin thought feels like home, Clara. Nodded understanding now that intimacy wasn't about chasing youth, it was about deepening love, and that she realized was a mething a man could do at any age. I've truly wanted to keep the connection of sipping her tea. The elders shared astery from her youth. There was once a woman, Maria, who came to me weary and uncertain, spoke of her husband. Juan, and how the flame of their love had dimmed over time. They had drifted apart, tangled in mundane, afraid to explore beyond wit. Was familiar. Clara leaned in. Listening closely, she had seen Thisha pawn to couples she knew. Love thetans burned brightly, now reduced to routine conversations about Bill Saran's and responsibilities. It wasn't that Mary and Juan didn't love each other, it was that they had forgotten how to show it. He told her, Maria, love is a dance, not a duty. It is not meant to be rehearsed and predictable. It thrives in spontaneity, in whispers of curiosity, and the courage to explore not just each other's bodies, but each other's souls. Maria hesitated at first. She had spent so many years believing that love simply faded with time, that passion was for the young, and what truly captivates, unlocking the magnetic power within. That comfort waste best she could hope for now, but deep down, she longed for more. She longed for days when one would look at her likes was the only woman in the world, when their conversations felt effortless, when intimacy wasn't just a routine, but something alive, somewhat tender, exciting with Newfoundrosself. Maria returned home, but instead of waiting for one to change, she decided change first that night. Instead of asking him about work or their bills, she asked him about his dreams. Instead of simply hugging him goodnight, she held him a little longer. Just like she who said so. First one didn't seem to notice he was used to their routine, their quiet coexistence, but as the days passed, something shifted. He started opening up again, telling her things he had shared in years. He started reaching for her hand when they walked, surprising her with small gestures of affection along at things they had long stopped finding funny. Their love once burdened be. Unspoken fears flourished, and knew Becca's they chose understanding over silence, intimacy over routine. Because Maria realized that love wasn't something you wait for, it's something you create every single day. Clara sat back, letting the story sink in. She'd come to Grandma Amalia, expecting simple words, but she was beginning to realize that love was never simple. It wasn't about waiting for the right moment or hoping things would fix themselves. It was about choosing to show up, to try to keep rediscovering each other, no matter how many years had passed. Grandma Amalie gave Clara a knowing look. Love, my dear, is not lost with time. It only disappears when we stop looking for it. Grandma Amelia's voice softened as Che spoke her final insight, embracing your timeless beauty and confidence. Final lesson, the one that Clara knew she would carry with her for the rest of her life. Love is not a routine. It's a masterpiece, but only a few dare to paint it every day. Shega stirred towards the fire where embers glowed beneath the wood. Passion is like this flame. If you tend to it, if you give it air, warmth, and fuel, it will burn for a lifetime. But if you neglect it, if you will see it, it will stay lit on its own. Eventually, it fades. Clara nodded, letting the words sink in. How many couples let their fire deek out, not because they stopped loving each other, but because they stopped choosing each other? They let the weight off responsibility, stress, and routine take over, leaving no space for the curiosity, exciton, and appreciation that once brought them together. Attraction is not about youth, it's about energy. Grandma Mully continued. It's about how you make Simeon feel in your presence. A woman doesn't fall in love with a man because of how he looks, but because of how he makes her feel. If a man understands, Thish will never lose her. She let the words hang in the air for a moment, before adding, when a man over 50 looks at his wife with the same admiration he once did, when he listens to her as if she's the most important person in the world, she feels it when he values Hermond, her laughter, her thoughts, Shara spends. Love isn't just about attraction. It's about making each other feel wanted, needed, and cherished. Clara sat in deep thought, always believed that love was a thing that just happened, that people were either lucky or unlucky in love. But no, she saw the truth. Love was a choice, yeah. Series of small, intentional actions taken every single day. And the couples who stayed in love, they weren't just lucky. They were willing to keep rediscovering each other, to keep choosing love even when life got busy or difficult. Grandma Amalia reached for Clara's hand, giving it a gentle squeeze. Never stop. Seeing your partner, never stop learning them, because love, my dear, is not lost with time. It on sappers. When we stop looking for it, Clara felt. A warmth spread through her chest, not just from the fire, but from the realization that she had found exactly what she was looking for. She had come seeking answers, but she was leaving with something even greater. That knowledge that love, true love, was in her hands. It was hers to create, to nurture, protect, and for the first time in a long time, she felt hopeful. Grandma Amalia looked at Clara one last time, our expression filled with warmth and certainty. It's never too late to revive passion. It's never too late to understand your partner, and it's never too late to fall in love all over again. Let those words settle between them, knowing that love at any age is not about chasing what was lost. It's about building something new. Clara understood now that love doesn't disappear with time. It simply waits for us to reach for it. Tagging love as a choice, Grandma Amalia said, not a memory. The couples who stay in love are the ones who keep choosing each other day after day. Year after year, Clara felt a wave of understanding rush over her. She had come seeking advice, but what she had found was a truth so simple, yet so powerful. Love doesn't fade, it just needs to be nurtured. Now I want to hear from Yohats. The one thing that stood out, Toyo. It's the most. Have you ever felt like love was slipping away, only to realize was still there, waiting for you, Torich? For it, share your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. If this story resonated with you, hit the like button and subscribe for more powerful insights on love, relationships, and intimacy after 50. And remember, the love of Zoo Seek is within your reach. It just takes a choice to embrace.